Jordan, if I told you that AI could help you analyze your dance technique from video footage, create custom practice playlists based on tempo and mood, or even help you network by crafting better emails to choreographers and casting directors, would you still think AI is purely a threat to your Broadway ambitions?
I don't know, but honestly, I'd probably say it's definitely a little bit of a threat because I don't want it to end up doing my job for me. So that would suck.
Well, this is some of what we're going to get into today. As Jordan has expressed on our last episode together, she is an AI skeptic. She doesn't necessarily think that this is good for us as people. So, this is something we're going to dig into. So, everyone, welcome to Thriving in Ambiguity, where we break down the complexities of technology, ideally without losing our mind. I'm Steve Mancini, and today I'm joined by my co host, Jordan. Jordan's a professional dancer working toward Broadway, and she represents probably 70% of the people out there when it comes to AI. A lot of them are skeptical, they're concerned, and they're wondering if this technology is here to actually help us or replace us. There's a lot of questions there. So, we're going to go through some of the basics of AI today. And hopefully, I'll help Jordan as well as the audience understand AI a little bit better and relieve some concerns.
All right. So, my first question for you, with AI starting to be used in creating choreography and AI being able to make people dance, like I see on TikTok going viral and stuff, how is that not a direct threat to my career?
Somewhat annoying, if I'm honest, because I'm not on TikTok, but I am on Instagram, I am on Facebook, and the amount of fake content that's out there is crazy. And honestly, you really don't know what's real anymore. I mean, if I struggle with it and I got to look twice and I realize, yeah, that's not real.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of people out there that probably can't tell the difference, and it's only going to get worse.
Yeah.
What I will tell you is you can't necessarily take the horrible parts or the bad parts and lump it all together. I mean, the reality is, I really think there's advantages to leveraging AI. And if you're not going to jump on that train and start to use it,
Mm.
other people within your industry will. And you're going to get left behind when you're trying to reach out to a casting director or put out stuff. If somebody's leveraging AI, it may come across cleaner, it may come
Mhm.
across with different information. One of the things that I was thinking that would be a great fit for you and how AI would work would be, and I've mentioned this to you before, if you're going to a dance audition, do some research on the choreographer. What type of dance do they do? What have they done? What's out there? What could you see so that you can learn before you actually walk into the audition?
Well, yeah.
I mean, that makes sense, right? But it was difficult. Before you were going to do that, you would have to do a lot of hunting on your own.
I mean, that is true.
So
That is true.
if you could write a prompt and say, I'm going to be auditioning with whoever it is, I would love to see some examples of this specific choreography and some background about their philosophy, their teaching. You put it together, and boom, within seconds, it's going to give you all the information you need to know about that choreographer, what their philosophy is, and example videos that you can leverage.
No, that doesn't sound like a bad idea.
So, that's one way you could easily use it. And as you could see, if you were competing against somebody else for the same jobs, if they were doing something like that, and then you're going in cold because you didn't have time, because let's say you're busy,
Hmm.
now you're at a disadvantage. I mean, I know you don't necessarily write to too many choreographers or things like that, but the time may come where you may need to. Being able to leverage that from a grammar perspective can be good to help writing emails. There's also a lot of good value there.
Okay. Yeah. You just put me on blast.
Mm.
Well, you don't reach out to choreographers.
I didn't mean it that way.
Okay.
No, I was saying the way I want you, as in people in your industry, don't typically reach out directly to choreographers. At least that's what you told me.
It's just,
That's kind of like,
it's circumstantial.
okay. Well, I just wasn't trying to be negative.
No, it's okay. It just made me look like I don't do anything.
What other questions might you have?
How soon do you think that the dance and entertainment industry in general is going to be directly affected by AI being able to create movie dances, music videos, all just from AI? Like you won't need dancers anymore because you don't have to pay anybody.
Partially, I think we're already there from some extent, but if you take it from the movie perspective, Hollywood is already doing a ton of CGI. They're able to artificially put characters in and do different things so they can create talent that they typically would have had to pay actual actors for in the past. But where I think this is going to be a little bit different from the entertainment business is people go to concerts and they pay an awful lot of money. If you look at the cost to go, like you just went to Lady Gaga, that was a lot of money.
Mhm.
People are paying a lot of money to see that performance. Will that ever be replaced by AI? I don't think so.
Well, no, but I'm just saying, like, for live performance, you can't replace that with AI, but that doesn't mean that's the only avenue you can take in the entertainment industry.
Right. So if you're talking about a music video, could they create backup dancers and stuff like that?
Yeah.
That could absolutely happen.
Mhm.
And they likely have the technology to do it today if they
Yeah.
wanted to.
Like, what if they don't need voice actors anymore because they just AI generate whatever voice they think would fit the character?
Yeah, that's a real threat too.
So it's not just like one specific thing.
It's funny because I think if you ask some of the big time actors out there, one of the things that makes them great is they ad lib and don't necessarily follow the script as it comes. And so that's a human thing. When you have great talent, do you want to necessarily replace that? Because there is a human element. When it comes to dance, that's a feeling, the
Mhm.
connection between you and the audience,
Mhm.
you and the music and the audience, I should say.
Yeah.
I would say, could it happen? Will it probably happen commercially a little bit when it comes to advertising? I think you'll probably see it there first.
Mhm.
I think from a performance and entertainment standpoint,
Mhm.
I would hope that would still be a ways off and maybe it will never happen. At least that's the hope.
All right. Explain to me what exactly AI is because I have some opinions, but I don't really know a whole lot. You would know better than me.
hmm So, from an AI perspective, there's a number of different kinds of AI. And one of the things that's out there, which I would say most people kind of focus on, so let's just deal with that first, it's generative AI. That's where people are talking about ChatGPT, Claude, and Gemini from
Mhm.
Google, and all of
Yeah.
those. So, that basically how that works, it's nothing more than a prediction machine. And what I mean by that is the AI is trained on massive amounts of data. So what they do is, in some cases, they'll point the AI to the internet and say, just basically ingest all of this information. In other cases, it's more specific. And usually I feel like when you get more specific, you get a little bit better answers. So like you point it to all of the medical journals, all of the medical guides, everything that's been created from a medical perspective. And you could say, okay, you're going to ingest all of this data. Then when a person goes in and asks it a question and says, hey, medical AI, here's the situation. I have a patient experiencing X, Y, and Z symptoms.
Mm.
This is all their demographic information. Here's, whatever. The
Yeah.
more information you could feed to it, then it's able to utilize all of that massive data set that's ingested and say, well, based on the data, this is most likely the three things that you need to look at. And here's probably what's happening here.
Okay.
It's nothing more than a prediction machine based on what it's seen.
Mm.
Okay. And so I think one of the big failures that people have is they'll ask it too simple of a question. And AI without context isn't very smart. One of the things I mean by that is you'll hear something called prompts. That's when you actually ask AI a question. A lot of times people will be like, create me an email to Jordan, and I want to have a conversation with her about this upcoming audition, and that'll be that. And so it'll create something.
Yeah.
Okay. But it won't be good.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't have enough information.
Mm-hmm.
I need to email Jordan. I want you to pretend that you are a choreographer that has, 20 plus years of dance experience. And I want to make sure that Jordan understands that I'm going to need her to be prepared to show, some sort of, I need her to go through ballet, hip hop. These are the types of things. And maybe I'm going to include a couple other pieces of information.
Mm.
And so from that, now it understands context. It knows, because once again, it's all based on that data set.
Yeah.
So if you don't give it enough information, it's not going to research a choreographer of 20 plus years experience and what would they typically say.
Yeah.
It's really important that you give it the information that you are trying to get out of it. So don't be lazy.
Mhm.
Lazy prompt, get lazy response.
Yep.
Now there's other types of AI as well, ones that focus on photos.
Yes.
Okay. When you're looking at photo generation on TikTok that people use, well, it's the same thing. You're feeding it lots of photo information. It's learning about that. At some point, somebody has to train it. So there's something called training. You have to tell it what's good and what's bad. So eventually you say, okay, what is a cat?
Yeah.
It'll show a picture of a cat and you'll say, yes, that's a cat. No, that's not a cat.
Mm-hmm.
And so as you're training it and saying what is and what isn't, it's starting to learn. Then it started to eliminate things
Yeah.
from how it works. So that's all in the line of what's called generative.
Yeah.
So one of the issues as we're training, not where, like I'm not training AI, but if I was,
Oh, you're not the creator?
no, I'm not the creator.
I
If
mean,
I was the creator, we wouldn't be living here
that's a shame.
because they're paying big money to people who know how to do that at a high level. And Google just paid some dude $200 million a year.
Crazy.
Crazy. Anyway,
I could have as many horses as I want.
you could have a whole prairie of horses.
Dogs and cats and bunnies.
Yeah, that way maybe if
Hamsters.
you reincarnate right on your own property.
That's beautiful. I'll make myself a squirrel house just in case.
One of the big issues is copyright. I know this is something that's going to need to be worked out, but if you're training it against the internet and
Mhm.
you're posting content on your Instagram of, you dancing in different performances or training,
Mhm.
well, that's being captured and potentially being used to train additional AIs to make
Yeah.
it smarter. And you're not getting anything back for it using your information.
Yeah.
How they deal with that, I don't know, but
Lawsuits.
that's definitely something that's going to come out in the court of law. And what are your thoughts on that content being kind of used to make AI better?
I guess if it's being used to make AI better, it's not a bad thing, but the whole copyright thing is not good at all. It's really bad. The amount of fake news I see is ridiculous.
No,
Yeah.
it's crazy. What are your thoughts on wearables?
Wearable.
Yeah. So grab it there, turn on my computer. I'll show the audience. It's right back there.
Oh, I'm not that big.
All right. So this is one of the things I'm talking about. This is a little device. You can clip it on yourself just like that. And you can press a button and it will capture everything that is said and actually organize it for you. And it'll actually start to learn what your voice sounds like. So it'll know if I go in and say, that was Jordan, and this is me, and this is, whoever, it'll start to learn that. And then I can then ask it questions about what I heard. Okay. So from a note taking, or if we're thinking about like, if I had this in college, this is gold.
Yeah.
Because for me, I like to take notes, but here's the problem. When I'm taking notes, I'm typically slower than the teacher. So then I get behind. And then am I truly listening? Am I truly engaged in the conversation if I'm trying to scribble everything down?
Yeah.
Okay. So with this, I can completely forget about taking notes. I can be engaged in the conversation that we're having, knowing that if I need to go back and reference something
Yeah.
or figure out my to-dos, I can do that. So this doesn't necessarily record and I can't go back and use it against you. I mean, I guess I could if I was really devious.
Okay.
Like wanted to set you up, which there's wiretap laws and things like that, which
Okay.
because I'm recording you potentially without you knowing about.
Okay.
But hopefully people that are using these, because this is becoming more common, you have ones like through Limitless, there's one through Claude, they're becoming more common. But I do see them as a huge asset.
When you talk about AI in that sort of way, it seems really helpful because you're using it in a way where it's able to help you. Like you said, you can listen to it back, finish taking your notes and being more engaged. That doesn't sound bad when you say AI and it's like, oh, like AI wrote my like report that I had to do for school, or AI wrote my essay. You know, that's the part that I don't really like, but that doesn't sound bad at all.
Well, and I'm going to get into that, what you just said in
Yeah.
a second. But for me, I would say one of my biggest weaknesses is my memory.
Hmm.
And it's super frustrating and it's never been good. Okay. But it's only gotten worse. The older I've gotten, it's just, it gets worse. And so you have a lot to look forward to because you'll probably fall into the
Lovely.
same boat.
Lovely.
Genes, you got to love them. But the reality is that has reduced my anxiety level because I can record, let's say, a meeting or a training
Hmm.
and then say, summarize that training for me, giving me the key concepts that I need to remember. I could even have it create flashcards because one of the things that I like to do because I struggle with my memory is do something called scaffolding. And that's going back over something multiple times on different days. So I may go through it once, don't need to spend a ton of time, go through it once, feel good about it the next day. I could pull that out again, go through it again,
Yeah.
and just you're building and maybe adding a little bit more content every time you're building that scaffold up.
Hmm.
So that really helps me. And I'll tell you, it reduces my anxiety level. That's great.
Yeah.
To your point, when it comes to a student in school writing that paper, that doesn't seem right.
Yeah.
Right. I agree. If that's your intention,
Yeah.
okay, just to kind of skirt by doing the minimum and have an AI write something for you. Well, for one, a teacher will likely figure it out pretty
Hmm.
quickly because it's not going to be a good paper.
Yeah.
And there's going to be signals left behind. And here's a great one that I heard. A lot of times when you use AI to write something,
Hmm.
it'll use this double wide hyphen, like a double dash, but it's all one, it's like a big dash.
Oh.
Right. I was listening to a teacher speak about this, and she said to the student, because she didn't think they wrote it, called them up to the desk and said, "Can you show me on the keyboard how you do that double dash thing?"
Yeah.
I couldn't tell you how to do it. I'm a
Mhm.
tech guy. I have no idea how to do the double dash.
Yeah.
He didn't know how to do the double dash, so you didn't write the paper.
Yeah.
You know, but that's the thing. Like AI does certain things and has a tendency to do certain things,
Hmm.
especially if you don't give it enough context.
Yeah.
Now, here's where I'll argue your point. I like to write.
Yeah.
I do a lot of my own writing. But what I typically do is, once again, when I'm creating my prompt,
Hmm.
I'm going to say, for one, I want you to put yourself in my shoes. I've given you enough content. I don't actually ask it to write anything. I just typically ask it to clean up my work or offer suggestions. I'll sit there in the prompt, say, okay, I'm writing this. Here's my goals. Here's what I'm trying to accomplish. So it gets the gist of where my head is at.
Yeah.
And then I write. I don't worry about grammar. I don't worry about any of that. It's just me pouring my thoughts
Yeah.
into a prompt.
But the problem is that even though that's the way that you use it, which I would agree is an okay way to use AI, I have no problem with that. People that are in my generation, they don't want to write anything. They're lazy. They're lazy. They're lazy.
You're going to get hate mail.
I don't
Yeah.
admit you're lazy. But it's like if you were to use it like that, that is fine. But people my age, people that are in college, they don't want to do that stuff. They just want it to do everything for them so they can pass their class, graduate, and then go do whatever.
Well, I mean, this gets into a fundamental thing. I was in education for a long time. I worked in technology as an IT director. But one of the challenges and one of the things where I think we definitely missed was when social media came out. I really felt like we needed to do a better job with the kids in kindergarten all the way up and creating a class, just like you would have English,
Yeah.
math, and science. It's got to be as important, and it's got to talk about your digital presence and how to use these things as tools. And now it's more important than ever because that's part of the problem. You have people within your generation who are now being exposed to this type of technology, and there's been no formal way to know how to use Google properly
Yeah.
when you were in school. There's a big concern, and I still haven't seen it really incorporated to the way it needs to be. You know, your sister's young, just entering high school. I still haven't seen any real classes where it's saying, hey, this is how you use AI.
Well, what was I gonna say?
So lazy, maybe, but in fairness and defense, they've never been showed the right way either.
I mean, that's fair. You could not teach somebody how to use Google and they could probably figure out how to use it in their own way. But you can teach somebody how to use something the right way. It doesn't mean that they're going to use it the way that it's intended. And there's literally nothing you can do about that. People are just going to do what they want. And the few that do want to use it the right way, that's great. But how many people are using it the right way and how many people are using it to cheat themselves out of things and just get by and not put effort in?
Well, you're not going to get good work out of it. And if that's what you feel like you're going to do when you move on out of college, let's say you do get through, or maybe you've graduated college and you're still on the younger side of things. I mean, it's going to be such poor work. It may be better than what you would have produced, but it's still not good. And you're still going to lose out to competition by someone who is leveraging it properly. So, I mean,
I think the way that you decide to use it, I feel like with everything, it's like, is it inherently bad? No, but it becomes bad because people don't use it the way it's intended to be used. They make something that was supposed to be useful into something that's scary and bad.
and the problem is this can get scary and bad real fast.
Dude, I get them all the time. There are these reels, and it's like robots, like human robots. They just fall over, and you could push them, and they just start freaking out. They're so weird looking, but they're scary.
Well, that's what Tesla's working on.
What?
They expect to put a robot in every house.
Why? What's the point? Oh, be your personal little maid. No.
What about the AI dogs? Have you seen them?
What happened to like real animals?
Well, they're using them over in Ukraine in the war. And they're like mounting machine guns on these dogs and they're running them into.
All right, and that's damn cool. But
It's like straight out of Terminator or something.
And that's fine. I don't know. Here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking, okay, that's cool. If that, I don't want to see dead dogs, so.
They're not real dogs. So.
No, they're AI robot dogs.
Until they're conscious, and then we have real problems.
Well, I just don't want it to become a thing where, like, all right, military has access to it. Sure, that's still scary, but okay. But then when it becomes like an everyday sort of household thing, when you have robot animals and robot servants in your house.
Well,
how many movies have we seen where the robot ends up killing the humans and takes over? How many shows have we seen?
I don't know.
No. Did Simpsons make an episode on this?
I don't know.
If The Simpsons did, then it's going to happen.
We'll have to search that up with AI.
I'll do it right now.
Okay.
Simpsons AI.
Well, while you're looking that up, did you see? What I was going to say. Think I don't have memory problem?
Well, why isn't your tchotchke turned on?
It's not on. We're going to reference it in the middle of a podcast.
Hello?
But you're
I
still,
don't want to know.
you're not even using AI right. You're using Google and it's giving you an AI like summary.
I didn't even get to scroll down yet, but guy's telling me that you can create Simpsons style AI art.
That's not perfect.
Simpsons AI.
Episodes?
Hi. Okay. In 2024, they aired an episode.
Where AI killed us all?
This episode ultimately showed Bart realizing the illusion, confirming the show would continue. I don't understand.
This is failed attempt.
Because I either don't know how to, but if there's an episode about AI destroying the world on The Simpsons, then it's probably going to happen.
Maybe what I'll do is I'll look it up, and if I can actually find something on AI, I'll include it.
Yes.
Symptoms predicting our demise.
Conspiracy theory?
Yeah, everything the Simpsons predict actually happens. Like there's a lot of Trump stuff and
Yeah. A lot of
crazy
stuff.
What about the AI glasses? What are your thoughts on that?
The only AI glasses I know about are the Snap glasses that came out when I was in middle school.
What?
They were glasses and you could do Snapchat through the glasses. It was like what you were seeing. Yeah, it was a thing.
Don't snap.
That's the only kind of, well, nobody uses them anymore, but that's the only AI glasses I know about.
Ray-Ban and Oakley have different partnerships. I think Oakley's partnered with Meta. I don't remember who Ray-Ban's partnered with. But anyway, if I look at your glasses, like right here in the corners, there'll be two cameras. They actually record video and audio of everything that's seen.
That's cool.
I mean, cool, but from a privacy standpoint, is a little weird.
It's all in how you use it.
Someone just said, I read, they went to their gynecologist.
No, they didn't.
Yes, they did. And the gynecologist had on the Oakley Meta glasses. And they're like, dude, are you serious right now? And she's like, oh, the battery's dead. Don't worry. I'm just using them as glasses. Like, how would you even know? That's like totally not cool. If people just don't think.
It's crazy.
But that's definitely, I could see the benefit of it because if you think about all the experiences, being able to capture that moment without thinking about it once again.
When you said that, my initial thought was like, how cool would that be if it was like when I went and saw Lady Gaga and she was wearing them to see what it would look like from her perspective on a stage. That would be cool. But what's not cool is wearing Meta glasses as a doctor treating your gynecology patient. Because then what happens is it ends up on the dark web.
That's crazy.
Well, it's probably some sick person out there would use it for that reason.
No doubt.
It's terrible.
There's a lot of sick people out there in the world.
It's terrible. You know where I see the most AI bullshit?
Where?
Facebook.
Yeah. Well,
do you know how many times I've seen the same AI ad? It's like a news reporting. Tiger trapped inside a torture device. And it's like people trying to get the tiger out, but it's like that dude's missing fingers. Like he's not real. Like it's like some weird, crazy stuff all the time.
It's always in the reels too, for the most part. Yeah. As you're scrolling, they'll have those 3 blocks or something. I think today I saw a cruise ship that got washed away by a wave. There was a news article where people were going down this slide and the slide somewhat breaks and they fall off.
Wait, is that for real or is that
yeah? Because you could see that slide didn't actually break. It was like,
well, when they try to have people in the AI, the people are never right. They're always weird.
But that's the problem. It's going to get better.
That, like, it's funny now, but it's not going to be funny.
And it's totally annoying. I hate it showing up on my feed. It's just like, oh, here we go. Someone else. Because I guess maybe people are making money off it. Maybe they're smarter than us.
Let's play a game.
Go ahead.
What's the first AI ad I see on Facebook?
That's probably something we just talked about because it's always listening.
I just want to see what the first AI ad that I'm going to get is. Let's see.
There's a lot of bad stuff going on right now.
Yeah. First AI ad.
What was that?
A cat in a sock.
That could be AI generated.
Don't think that that one's AI generated. However, I see a lot of, that's me. It'll be like on a website and it'll be like advertise, like, oh my God, I saw this, like a food menu on DoorDash, especially. And it'll be like showing, telling you what the food is, but the picture is so AI. I'm like, I'm not buying that because I can tell that that's not even real.
So it was crazy. I was so angry. I was at a conference a few weeks ago
I'm just
in
looking for
Nashville,
AI.
and I'm looking at the program online. It tells you who the keynote speakers are going to be. And I love keynote speakers because I love people being positive and inspirational and things like that. There's supposed to be this woman who's going to speak on women in the workforce and talk about the challenges and this inspirational story to encourage other women in technology. So I'm like, okay. And I had a great picture and she looks awesome.
Mm.
So I go and I sit down and they announce her and she comes walking out. This woman looked nothing. She literally had an AI generated picture of herself that she's using for advertising as a speaker. Looking at the picture, a beautiful girl in a business suit, long blonde hair, very professional looking, looks almost like she could be 6 foot based on the shape of her torso.
Yeah.
This girl comes in like 5'2". Her hair's like not good. We're hair people. And I can tell you,
Someone look at mine. Mine's dirty.
it was not good. And I'm like, dude, who is this person? I had to go back and look at the thing. I'm like,
Yeah.
is they like an imposter?
Yeah.
And then she's supposed to be talking about women. She talks about AI for an hour and she didn't even know what the hell she was talking about. She gets paid $30,000 to stand up on that stage and talk for an hour. I'm like, man, somebody is winning. Fake it till you make it.
Yeah.
I was angry. This is crazy.
Don't you, like, aren't people embarrassed to do that? I would be embarrassed if I got up on stage, no matter how much money I was being paid. As a reputation, it doesn't matter how much money I got. People are going to think I'm an idiot. I don't want to be an idiot.
Well, I'll tell you, it must be a character trait that she has. She just doesn't care.
I guess.
I went to her LinkedIn and I'm like, let me look a little bit more into this woman. And you look at her job history and she'll work at this job for a year, this job for 7 months. So here's what it said to me as a former person who used to hire people.
I can't find anything on Facebook because it's listening to me. It doesn't want me to be right.
It says that this person's a fraud. Like they get hired and then they leave in 7 months or get fired because they're clueless.
Yeah.
But you know, she'll work for an AT&T and then claim she's some expert in communication. She only worked there for 7 months. You're no expert.
I just don't know how people aren't embarrassed.
No, I thought it did a disservice to women. That was my big thing. You know, as a girl dad, I love seeing successful women, specifically in technology, because it's a minority.
Rise, women.
Right? There's just not as many of them compared to men. If I'm in a room of tech people at a conference, it's like 80% male. So when you see somebody that is a woman and knows what they're talking about, it's super impressive.
Yeah.
So
Do you think it's mostly male dominated just based off of natural interest? Because there's, you know, like you don't really see a whole lot of male hairdressers. They're just as knowledgeable and talented as any other female hairdresser, but women tend to be more interested in cosmetology than men. And then I would probably say the same thing with technology. You don't see a lot of successful or respected women in a field like that, but is it just based off of natural curiosity that some women aren't, or most women aren't in technology?
I think it comes a little bit from how what was perceived in education. And I think maybe we're doing a better job today saying that, hey, this is something you can do. But for a long, long time, I mean, if you think about people my age, when there was technology classes, it was never marketed to women.
Yeah.
It was always, you know, men do that, women do this. And it was only worse before my generation.
True.
So slowly, I think We're getting to the point where it's acceptable and encouraged in some cases for more women to be involved. You can do this. You could be a programmer. You can understand networking. You can work on computers. If you have an interest there, go for it. But that wasn't always the case.
Yeah.
So I think maybe in the next 30 years, because it's going to take time. Yes, there's probably people now that are in college that are studying it and looking forward to being a part of the workforce. But if you're 20 years old and I'm closer to 50, for it to be where you really see a difference, it's probably going to take still a bunch of time.
True.
So getting back briefly to AI, now that we've talked a little bit more, you were completely against it. Are you feeling more positive at this point?
You gave me examples of ways that AI is actually useful and helpful in a way that's not just abusing it. So I would say I've got a pretty 50-50 standpoint on it. I'm not usually very one-sided in one argument. So I'll see the good and the bad, but when it comes to my career and what that could look like in the future, it's definitely still a little bit scary.
I agree. When it comes to AI, look for areas where you're doing repetitive tasks or maybe don't have time to do something. I'll give you a perfect example. I told this to your mother, and she's a tough one to convince, but she liked the example. If you're going to the supermarket and thinking about meal prep,
Yeah.
okay, and you say, okay, what do I want to eat this week? What do we want to make as a family versus spending so much going out to eat? Once again, building that good prompt, say, hey, we're looking for dinner ideas for a family of 5. And we like this, we don't like that. This is the type of meals we want. We want variety. Maybe we want it to be high in protein. You give it all that information, and then you ask it, give me some choices, and then give me what I need as far as a grocery list. And boom, it will give you exactly that, which is amazing, and everything that you need to buy. What's coming next when we get to that point where it becomes more of an assistant, you'll just say, order it for me.
See, I let it because that is rarely helpful. I'm not really sure what to make for my family when we want to try something new. And technically, I feel like any other person would be like, yeah, get some recommendations. I'll tell you what to buy. I will still say to you, why didn't you just come up with that on your own? I have a real big issue with people that can't do things for themselves.
But you are. I mean, it's just.
I'm not saying that it's a bad thing. I laugh because I agree it can be a good thing, but then it's also me personally, I'm just like, and you couldn't come up with that yourself. Why?
All right, let's say you're on a specific diet. You're going to mess around with keto.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, do you really want to put all of the effort into figuring out the protein content? And it'll do it in
but I
seconds.
feel like you're interpreting what I'm saying the wrong way. I'm not arguing with you that it's a bad thing. I'm just saying that brat that lives in the back of my head, that little piece of my brain that's like, but what if? That's what I'm saying is that's great. That's probably where mom's been cooking up a storm.
Yeah, most of what she gets is from TikTok. But I did show it to her. And look, hey, I'm not a big fan of TikTok. I think it definitely leads to kids and whatever brain rot, like bed rot or whatever you guys are calling that.
Bed rot. Brain rot would be the correct.
Brain rot, where you just sit in your bed all day.
That's rotting.
Oh, rotting.
That's what Logan likes to does or likes. What Logan likes to do and lay in bed and not do anything, that's rotting, or wait, I guess you could say bed rotting. Brain rot is content on the internet that literally serves no purpose but to fry your brain, and it's just stupid.
So that is, we talked about types of AI. That's an absolute type of AI.
I'm going to show you something called Italian brain rot.
Does it have pictures of cars?
No. This is Italian brain rot.
We're failing the audience here.
Oh, who?
And people watch that?
People love this shit. It's so stupid. That's specifically Italian brain rot, but that's literally what brain rot is. It's just stupid stuff that serves no purpose. Probably, I guess, just to make you laugh. But it serves no purpose
But
to rot your brain.
just that one of those things that draws you in, and then you get stuck. And
And
things like TikTok, or that AI is so advanced, it learns what will lock you in, and
well,
then it doesn't let you leave.
the iPhone tracks your eye movement when you watch things on your phone. So if you're like watching something, I guess, and you're actually engaged in it, your phone can tell, and they'll recommend you more videos based off of the way that you're interacting, like visually with whatever you're watching. Or if I'm just like, oh,
I
don't like
know.
that.
I think,
It's a conspiracy theory.
yeah, I'm pretty sure that it is, but I don't know.
I don't know. It's probably in the terms of service that nobody reads. Because nobody reads it. Let's be real. Nobody reads that. But it's probably listed right in there, very fine
Well,
print.
I'm not reading the terms of service. I get it. What are you going to do? Say no? I want the phone.
I want to watch Italian brain rot, so
No, it's a problem. Like, it's a real problem. I try to avoid it, but TikTok has improved the meals that we eat.
that is true.
So I'll give it that. But from an AI perspective, there is really good ways for you to use it for, like I said, look for repetitive things in your life, things that you don't have time for.
Yeah.
And then you can experiment with that and say, hey, is there a way for me to eliminate this?
That's that. I would just like to argue with laziness. Because if you're going to be lazy, at least admit to it.
All right. What about teaching yourself something? Like, let's say, for instance, you like going to the gym.
Yeah.
Have you ever thought about asking AI to create an exercise routine for the night to specifically target a specific area?
I have not, and I'm not opposed to that idea.
It's laziness. That's leveraging intelligence.
When did I
You don't
ever use
necessarily
I
have.
was lazy?
You're insinuating that it's somewhat lazy.
But when you
For
give me a
lazy
lazy example, I'm gonna. I don't know what my family likes to eat. Give me some examples. You ever seen your kid eat an apple? All right. Well, if you've seen your kid eat an apple, they probably like apples, so you should probably buy apples at the grocery store. Your kid apples, and AI says to get them an apple. 5 minutes. We have eyes attached to your head.
Crazy.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I will come up with an example as to why something specific is lazy, but it's not lazy to use it to research workout exercises and then go to the gym and try them out. That is not a lazy thing to use AI for. But if you're like, oh, I don't feel like writing my essay because I don't pay attention in class and AI will get it done for me and I'll just submit it. Really? Like, you pay all this money? Like, that's lazy. I will argue with you on a topic like that when it comes to AI. But don't give me some obvious example as to why it's useful. I'm saying it's lazy.
One way I used it for work, which I thought was really genius, say, I asked it to be a combative customer that has a competitor's product and kind of push back against me when I'm trying to explain the value of the software that I sell. And it was really, really good. I mean, and what it did was it actually gave me constructive criticism and said, hey, so we basically got into a conversation. It asked me a question. I followed up with an answer. It answered a follow-up. I hit it with a follow-up. And at the end of the conversation, it said, hey, this is what you did really well. And here's where you could have done a better job and what you need to polish up on. I thought that was really good.
That is helpful, but you are the kind of person that will use AI and then learn from the information it gives you. But you don't make up the majority of AI users.
Right.
Like, again, it goes for me right back to like, okay, well, then it depends on how you're going to use it. If you're going to use it in a useful way, I don't see anything wrong with it. But when you're going to be lazy and use it for stuff to get you by or use it in ways that ends up hurting people's careers and jobs, then I have a problem with that.
Making what your mom loves is like the AI generated chickens that scream your name. Have you seen them?
Probably. Jordan.
The chicken?
Yes, that's like millennial funny. It's like not Gen Z funny, but it's okay. I was going to say something. Oh, you know what's another? Artists, like painters and drawers. Do you know how many AI art pieces are being sold in stores?
Yeah. I could see that being a big problem.
Like they're like AI is taking people's work and making it like
Different.
a little bit different. You can tell in the quality of like the printing on the like those fake not the fake canvases, but like I don't know, like with the you know what I'm talking about?
Hmm.
The canvases with the printed art on them. Like the quality is very bad, or like there's things missing in it because it's AI. Like it's and then they're selling it like it's like this artist, and it's just nuts. From like a consumer standpoint, like yeah, probably it's cheaper. I don't know. For that to be a fact, I would assume that it's cheaper, but what's the fun in that?
There's always people looking to cheat the system and make an easy dollar.
That's a lie. This is part of my problem. Because then that's another example of like, well, if that becomes bigger than it is now, then what's the point of having an artist? What's the point of buying someone's artwork when AI can just make it for you? And then is a digital printer AI?
In theory, it will probably have AI attributes at some point. Right now, a
Like
3D printer is printing based on a program and a design,
true.
but it doesn't mean that the AI won't be in control of that.
I didn't know if that was considered AI.
I hope we don't lose our creativity. When the printing press came out, everybody thought writing was dead and things like that back in the day, and there was all kinds of issues with it. And you know, it evolved.
Mm-hmm.
And then newspapers happened and magazines and all these great things came from the printing press. So it, you know, while it may have disrupted some things, it wasn't in a way that didn't lead to better outcomes.
And I get that. Like you were introduce something like that to people and they don't understand what it is. It's like old people with iPhones. Like, I don't know how to use this. I don't understand. This is stupid. You just don't know how to use it. Like, and that's fine. Totally out of your realm of knowledge and what you grew up with. But at the same time, AI just seems like it's that thing that's going to be a big problem.
Hmm.
Like, yeah, you could probably say that people said the same thing about the printing press, but it's like they're not really the same.
At the time, that was a big deal. Like at the time when you have the Industrial Revolution, when they automated the creation of cars, that was a big deal. But
It's nothing like
happened?
AI.
This is the most disruptive thing that we'll have ever experienced to this point. Yes, people are going to lose their jobs. They already are losing their jobs. There's going to be new jobs created, but in order to get there, people have to be upskilled. First, you have to figure out what the new jobs are. Then you're going to have to learn how to work within that constraint. And so
Yeah.
it's going to get worse. Matter of fact, and this is scary, in most cases, during every major revolution, right after it came very bad times.
Lovely.
First,
Okay.
um,
Is this the bad times?
well, no, we're probably not even there yet. We're probably on the cusp of them because we're just dipping our toes into AI. We're only a couple years in where it's really been impacting us.
Mm-hmm.
It's
I remember when Matthew showed me this AI thing. You put in a prompt and it made a picture based off of what you said. I looked up Toys R Us bong and it made a Fisher Price bong for kids. It was awful looking because it was early stage AI, but it was hilarious. And that was 3 years ago.
that sounds about right.
Yeah. And 3 years later, they want to make robots to live in your house. Anybody seen the Megan movie? She's basically the robot, and they have this whole thing where you walk around basically viewing robots like a car dealership.
Okay.
And they've got the robots doing household chores. She ends up trying to steal the husband from the wife and killing people. Just because it's a movie doesn't mean it couldn't happen.
No, you just reminded me of what I wanted to tell you a half hour ago.
Finally.
See, you sparked it. Let's
Perfect.
hope we don't lose it again. So ChatGPT, when they came out with the latest version 5,
Mhm.
people freaked out because they were already having relationships
I was about to say that before.
with version 4. They were like, this one speaks differently. Why don't I just do that? This isn't my AI friend. Where'd it go?
Yeah.
How crazy is that?
Well, I watched a whole thing about that. People are creating personal relationships with AI, or what I saw, which was even crazier, they are having conversations with AI, but they'll make it like they're talking to a character from a show or a celebrity. It's like they're having a conversation with a TV character they're infatuated with, or a celebrity. It's not real, but they're having these strange relationships with AI. Where's the real human connection? Are you going to lose that because you turn to AI as your companion?
Yeah, well,
And
there's
then
a
it's
lot of
like
lonely
saying they're
people
gonna
out
get
there.
married and stuff. Yeah, to each their own. Like, that's cool.
There's a couple good movies out there. I don't remember the names of them, but there's absolutely ones where they're creating these AI agents almost where they're like your assistant, but they're an assistant in such a way where they have a personality and know everything about you. People were absolutely like falling in love and like they're walking around, they have like their earbuds in because this is like going back before AirPods were a thing. And in the movie, they're just talking to their AI as they're
I feel
walking
like I've
around.
seen that like
It
in
was
like a
good.
YouTube video somewhere where they're having these text conversations with AI, but then it'll also be on phone calls and it's talking to you. And it's like, I don't know, I wanted to talk to Ron Weasley from Harry Potter. And I'm like, oh, can I call you? I don't know this to be a fact, probably take every, you know, like piece from all of the movies and like have it speak like the actual actor
Mm.
from the movie, which is cool, but really weird. If I was then the actor that played Ron Weasley and I'm like, people like are so sick in their head that like they need to have my voice AI created so they can like have some weird sick fantasy with it. That's weird.
Ron Weasley.
That's weird.
Potter, Harry Potter.
Yeah. Like, can we go back to when people did stuff like that? I just think it's weird.
We need to take that video and make it into AI with little Harry Potter puppets.
If you're gonna put tchotchkes across the screen, that's fine and funny and all, but I just think, what's the player one move?
Ready Player One?
If the world ends up like that, I'll be upset.
You go to work by just getting on your treadmill styled AR environment and you can walk around and run like in a completely other world.
Yeah, and I
When you're
live
in your
on,
Sims thing and you're generating some kind of currency, then it actually hits your bank.
yeah, go touch grass. Like, literally go touch grass. I feel like
Go lick a tree.
I go hug a tree, go play with a little anthill or something. I feel like as a human being and what our bodies need to survive and be at our peak health and function normally, sitting at a computer all day, making money off AI or in a virtual reality world, do we break down?
Listen,
Like,
we just got done saying about bed rot and TikTok and getting sucked in and not leaving your room. How is that any different if you're going to that virtual place and you're totally sucked into it
but are you gonna be then virtually sucked into that place every single day?
every day? Like
That
you're
won't.
stopping is to go to the bathroom, or maybe you wear a diaper.
That's a problem. It makes me not want to bring a kid into this world. To them, it might be normal, but I would be probably really happy if we lived somewhere with all four seasons.
So you can do that in this environment. So you put your headset on and you go to this far off way and you farm. You got your dogs and you
Wait, I want to live that in real life. I don't want it to
it
be a
all feels
reality.
right. You feel the wind blowing. If you touch it, you could feel this.
It's not real though. I just don't like that. It's not real human connection, not real activity. It's not really like sure. I guess it's brain stimulating.
But you're talking to other people in the world. They're just not there.
You ever walk around in real life and just not feel present?
Me, no. But I watch others because I do like to walk a lot. And it's amazing that as I'm walking down the road, there are people that will not look in your direction. It's like, are you serious? Like you can't even glance and give a little wave. They will literally stare in a way that they do not
I feel like that's just people not being
present.
No, I wouldn't say that's them not being present. I would say that's
They're
more
not
of just
real
people.
NPCs,
Okay,
maybe.
did I just watch an NPC get shot in the carotid artery earlier?
I don't know about that.
Yeah, I don't think they're NPCs.
The people don't acknowledge you.
Maybe they are NPCs. I don't know, but I was more just saying sometimes I don't feel present. I might not have to be on my phone, but something in my brain is just like not.
Away from keyboard.
Yeah, my brain is AFK. Like I'm
The
physically
person
here.
who's kind of manipulating you.
You know what? It felt like today when I was driving up to the train station. It felt like, you ever seen, I don't know, it would be like a movie cover or like an album cover, just some like artistic picture, be like the person's body's here, but then they're like shadow or like they're like lagging, like their soul's almost behind them, like it hasn't caught up yet. That's what it feels like for me to not be present. My body's physically here, but some part of me is still all the way back here and it's got to catch up and link together.
Never experienced that.
I don't know what my deal is then, but that's what I imagine being in a virtual reality would feel like every day. Like yeah, I'm looking at it, but like it's just something's missing.
We need the Apple glasses, the Apple Vision Pro, so we could try it out.
And then what happens after we return it and get our money back?
Oh, I always wanted it. I haven't been able to pull the trigger on 3,500 hours because that's what they cost.
So we could make much better investments with that kind of money, like me moving. But
Think how much money I would save.
what happened to like, what's cool about pretending though? It's not cool to pretend.
People pretend every day.
Are they happy? No. You just have to be the real you. There's no fun in pretending. Go touch grass, listen to the birds, and get some sun.
So,
Use AI and
moral of this story is go outside, let the sun hit you, breathe in some fresh air, and touch grass.
and feed the squirrels.
Feed the squirrel.
You never know if your relative might be the squirrel that runs around in your front yard.
I think that's enough AI talk for one night.
Mm-hmm.
Appreciate your time and the audience's time here. Thank you for joining Jordan and Steve on Thriving in Ambiguity. As things get complex and complicated, don't freak out. Take a deep breath. Take Jordan's advice. Step outside.
Touch grass.
Take a deep breath. The sun hits you. Don't you feel better?
And you know what? I do. And also, I would like to say that it's not a crime to have an opinion.
No.
It's not a crime to have an opinion. Open to debating, asking questions, and educating, but it's not a crime to have an opinion that doesn't match yours.
It's okay.
Yeah.
If we don't agree.
Yeah.
That's it. Thanks, everyone.
Open-minded.
Thank you for joining.
Thanks for coming to my show.
Smash that like and subscribe.
I don't have anything else to say except I'm sweaty.
Got to strike that one.